Now, your forecast first on Fox. Sponsored by Castaway Cove Water Park.
Hey, we're warming up tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at your forecast right now. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be around mid-70s when you're waking up. By lunch, we're going to be warming up to low 90s, around 90 degrees right around noon. Now, as we hit the afternoon, we're getting off. It's going to be the upper 90s, 96 with a dew point. It's going to be in the low 60s, so it's going to be a little humid outside. Now, I'll have your full forecast coming up later on after the news with Daryl Franklin, which starts right now.
You're watching Texoma's Fox News at 9 in high definition.
Hello, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Daryl Franklin. A man who was found guilty on 20 child porn charges will serve time. It only took a jury about 30 minutes to decide Randall Lee Baker was guilty on 10 counts of promotion of child pornography and 10 counts of possession of child porn. The punishment phase got underway this morning, and the jury recommended 3 years for the first 10 counts and 5 years for the other 10 counts with no fine. The judge is set to sentence Baker next Thursday. The Wichita County Criminal District Attorney's Office has asked for the sentences to be stacked. A Waurika school board member remains behind bars in Wichita County on drug and weapons charges. 46-year-old James Patrick Dudley was booked into jail at around 1 this morning. His charges include manufacture and delivery, possession of marijuana, and unlawful carrying of a weapon. He's also jailed on a federal hold through the U.S. Marshal's Office for possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance. His bonds total more than $100,000. According to the Waurika ISD website, Dudley is the clerk on the school board. Many across Texoma woke up to damage after heavy rains and winds just hammered Texoma last night. Conte Guillaume spoke to a local insurance agent today, and they say homeowners need to do something now before the storms ever move through.
We woke up in the middle of the night and heard lots of wind and stuff.
Just like many around town, Dylan Crumpler did not anticipate a storm like the one that came through last night.
Heaviest rain now across the southern portions of Texoma, from Throckmorton through Young and Jack County. We're
familiar and pretty comfortable with high winds around here. I mean, I knew it was blowing, but I never thought it was going to damage everything.
Crumpler said when he walked out to his barn to assess the damage, the roof had been torn off. Although insurance coverage differs when it comes to structures and personal belongings, State Farm insurance agent Mike Morris says it's important to know all the details of your plan.
And the time to go over the coverage is when you write the policy, and then every year at renewal. Go in and have someone, take a look at that policy and make sure it's still covering the stuff that you want to make sure it's covers. Because one thing we know is things change.
Just as the weather can, and quickly, Morris says it's also important to have a safety plan in place for your family and your pets. He suggests a few things to do once the damage has been done.
First thing you do is survey your damage, take pictures, so you got pictures of the damage that's out there. Also, go ahead and call someone out or yourself to start putting protection in place.
Because, he says, your personal safety should be the top priority. Crumpler says he's thankful no one was hurt during the storm. Now he's just left having to put the pieces of his barn back together. Katia Guillaume, Texoma's Fox.
Morris says the time to get an insurance policy is not after the fact. It's important to make sure that you are always covered, home, barn, even your car, because we never know what kind of punch that next storm will pack. Before costly storms hit, being prepared is so important, but not everyone knows what needs to go into a storm emergency kit. Items like water, food, flashlights and batteries are a must for an emergency. Veteran storm spotter Shannon Combs says you need to be ready for the unexpected.
You need to know during the day where you're going to be, where your family's going to be, your friends, your neighbors, where they're going to be, and where they need to go if severe weather threatens you immediately. Power outages up to 6-12 hours like some places in town have experienced last night. You need to start thinking about food and water. Not only for you and your family, but for your pets as well.
The Red Cross has a full list of safety procedures. You can find those over at Texomashomepage.com. A reminder, it's always a good idea to bring your four-legged friends inside during a storm in case a fence is blown down and they're able to get out. Officials at the Wichita Falls Animal Services Center say that they saw an increase in dogs being picked up and had close to 150 phone calls this morning after the storm. They say about half of those calls were regarding lost pets, too. Animal Services Administrator Katrina Mitchell says there are a few things you can do to prevent your pets from getting loose.
When they know a storm is coming, they need to make sure that their gates are secured on their fences and their animals are somewhere safe, that they have identification on them. You know, even if it's just taking a marker and writing your phone number and address on their collar.
Mitchell also says that when the storm is past, pet owners should check and make sure that their gates have not blown open and are still secure. Also check to make sure no branches have fallen and damaged your fence. Having an AC in your home is a luxury most of us enjoy, and that's until we get the energy bill sometimes. Research shows Americans spend more than $22 billion a year on electricity to cool their homes with air conditioning. And according to Ferguson Varish, the average Wichita Falls homeowner spends between $100 to $200 on their electricity bill, which can also increase depending on how you maintain your AC units. And some tips for conserving energy when you're out of town: make sure your thermostat's not too low. That makes your unit work harder to keep things cool. Also check that your AC unit is sized properly for your home. The bigger they are, the more expensive they will be. Tomorrow, the Impact's going to be the place to be for you and the kids. On Saturday, tomorrow, the annual KFDX Texomashomepage Fox Kids Fest will be underway, and this year's theme is all about dinosaurs. Admission just $2 at the door, and something new and very exciting about this year, Pediatric Associates. They're going to be offering free physicals for kids for the 2018-2019 school year. We've also, well, there's going to be bumper cars out there, a train outside, a magician's going to be putting on a show at 10 tomorrow. Plus, we're going to be looking for Texoma's Little Big Shot.
We're going to hook the kids up to the rubber bands and shoot them up into the sky and let them jump and have a good time. First thing in the morning, there's all kinds of inflatables, a quad jump, mechanical bull, rock climbing wall, so bring the kiddos and we'll have a good time.
That was Kevin Attaway. He's back again this year from Dallas. He loves to come to Kids Fest. Kids Fest starts at 9 a.m. and will wrap up around 3. The first 1,000 kids, and if we can come back on camera here, I'll show you this t-shirt. Look at this. First 1,000 kids to the door, you get a free t-shirt. So there's an extra incentive to show up. Doors open at 9 o'clock. Again, it's only $2. Hope to see you there in the morning. A new spin on an iconic movie and a look into the legacy of a man beloved by TV audiences and children everywhere. Talking about Mr. Rogers. That's coming up at the box office this weekend, and we're going to have more on that after this break in weather.